Here we go. Episode 534. As I'm spitting all over the table here. No Laugh Track podcast here at Acme Comedy Company, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Justin Severson here, the host each and every week, including the last time my guest was here back in 2013, episode 54, I believe. Eddie Gossling is here. What the hell? Where have you been, man?
I mean, almost 500 episodes you've done since.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think. I've just been, where have I been? I've been, living, I haven't been leaving my house a lot. So I've been there for the last decade. Just in LA, just trying to slug it out,
Sure.
Work there and do things and limited touring, but.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I've done over 500 of these in that, or about 500 of these in that time. That is pretty wild. And I was briefly telling you before we started recording, but normally I will go back and listen to the guest's previous appearance on the show. But this week I was like, I couldn't, not because of you.
Just busy.
I didn't want to listen to myself from 11 years ago.
I was saying something to.
I don't know. I can't.
Tommy Ryman today, we were hanging out having a cup of coffee, and I was like, I don't like to listen to myself. I don't like to. It's hard for me to make reels. It's hard for me to do it. I don't like to watch myself. I don't like the way I sound, the way I dress. I'm so critical of it. Not to the point where I would change things, because I just say well, maybe you learn something from that and do something different, but I don't. But it's just hard for me to listen to myself. But you kind of have to sometimes in comedy when you're putting together material or whatever. But, yeah. So I feel you there. I
will say normally I can handle it when it's a year previous, but 10 years I don't have a ton of confidence in my skill from 11 years ago.
Well, you sounded great. I went back to listen. I'm like, I think I was on this show way back.
Yeah.
I remember doing the show. There wasn't the video aspect of it. But,
no, we did an hour back then, and here we are. We got to cram it all in a half an hour now.
Okay, well, let's get to it.
So back then, I'm sure we talked about that you were like in the basically middle of your job at Tosh.0, right?
Yeah, writing for Tosh.0, and that was fun. It's a good run. COVID cut it short a little bit, We had 3 or 4 more years that we were going to do, but because of COVID, it got canceled. And
so there was a contract to go that much longer? Or just
with Daniel, they had a contract for 4 more years, and then when there's a new group of people came into Viacom and took over Comedy Central and MTV and all those places, and they cut ties with a lot of shows.
Yeah.
And we were one of them, but, you move on. It was a good run, 12 years. We did 12 seasons of that show. Yeah. Which is crazy for any show in L.A.
What do you miss about it?
I was used to, maybe I missed the routine of the Monday through Friday. And then weekends, almost like a regular, it's kind of the opposite of a comedy, stand-up job.
Sure.
Where you're on the road, maybe Tuesday through Sunday or Wednesday through Monday. So your weekends are a little bit different, but this was more because I have kids and a family, it lined up pretty well.
Yeah.
So I kind of miss the routine of it. And also the people I knew there, they were fun. I met a lot of professional writers and comedy writers, not necessarily stand-up comics. And my whole pool of people before that were stand-ups. And then I was meeting people on the other side with the writers, and they're so good at what they do. So I miss those relationships. We keep in touch though, which is nice. It's been a good group.
So so you what do you consider yourself now? 90% stand-up, 10% writer, 50-50? Where are you in there?
I don't know. What I would say, I'm a dual threat.
There you
I can
go.
do the stand-up. I can help some with the writing. I don't know exactly what I find interesting. Might not. It's very hard to apply somebody else's sensibilities, I feel, to what I do, because I'm so used to, I have a thing that I think is funny, an avenue that I like to take when I write for myself, and then with somebody, it would just depend on what it is.
Sure.
I think there has to be some enthusiasm on my end. So, I don't know. I think I could do a couple things. While I've been off, I've been trying to learn how to animate. It's another way to tell jokes.
Oh, wow.
So there was a strike, so I was trying to learn that to see what I could do. And
you didn't learn another language. You tried to learn animation, huh?
I tried to learn animation, the language of visuals.
There you go.
That's what I'm trying to get together, and it's fun. It's been a journey, self-teaching myself. Maybe if I took a class, it'd go faster.
Yeah, that takes some discipline.
It does. I don't know that I have that. I never was a big school guy.
I was, but I don't know that it translated.
Well, yeah, I guess either way. But yeah, so I don't know what I would consider it's tough. Just I was something in comedy,
Sure.
you know, funny person, like a funny person.
Yeah, 100% comedy.
Yeah, something in there.
Split down.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I know that I saw that you're still working with Tosh, though, right? Daniel Tosh?
Yeah, he just started a podcast, Tosh Show.
Yeah, it's
And-
so good.
Oh, good. I'm glad you like it. I
Yeah.
think it's fun for people to get to see another side of Daniel where he's always, like when we would do web redemptions, you know, you have these kind of crazy people sometimes from the internet, but he was always really good at talking with them and interviewing them.
Yeah.
And this is neat because this is just like a long form of that with, you know, more these people aren't just plucked out of the internet.
Yeah.
It's people that he finds interesting or kind of like are part of his life. And it's good I think it's fun for people to see him do that side of it, the interviewing part.
It's
And-
such a fun angle, like of what you're describing. Just, you
Yeah.
know, my personal chef was the most recent one I watched.
Remy.
Yeah. Remy.
The French. He was great. He's a funny guy. Jovial. Like it's exactly what you would expect from a French chef. I guess he's a pastry chef by trade, but you know, they know everything in that world. And he made some cookies for us that were delicious.
I think am I remembering this correctly? At one point, he was asked the last time he went to fast food, and he was just like, "What?
His
I would
story
never."
was hilarious. He doesn't have a fast food place, but he went to In-N-Out Burger. Did you remember the story? He was like in Santa Barbara, and he knows Julia Childs. And this is way back, and she's like, "Hey, I'll take you out to dinner. You need to pick me up." So he picks up Julia Childs, and they drive to this. She goes, "It's just a little further, He keeps driving, and they pull into like an In-N-Out Burger. And Julia Childs takes Remy to, In-N-Out to get like she loves the place. And it was so.
Was that in the
fascinating.
movie?
So no, I don't think that was in the movie. You're right. Fascinating to me though. That's the one place that she loved too.
Wild.
Maybe the only. I mean, I'm sure he's had other fast food, but I mean, man, he can probably whip up anything in the house.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, he did pick a good one.
Yeah.
In-N-Out Burger.
He did. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So last night, first time back at Acme, like we said, in
Yeah, I think it's got to be over 10 years.
crazy.
I mean, like,
have you been back to Minnesota in that time?
I don't think so. Minneapolis area would be where I'd probably come anyways.
Right.
No, I don't think so. It's been a while, so it's
Wow.
been fun to come back. Things seem similar, but at the same time, it's like there's been some more stuff going up
Oh yeah.
with any city, right?
Sure.
But it's still a fun city for me to walk around in, and just I was.
One less surface lot across the street. A lot more high rises around
That's right.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't changed much. It's funny. Same hotel too. I was like, this is a trip. Like
Yeah.
this is crazy. We're in the same spot.
Uh-huh.
Easy to walk over.
You didn't find anything that you left there 11 years ago,
No,
did you?
it's- yeah, it's like, hey, I left something. Go to the front desk. It's just a.
We've been waiting for you.
Do you have a box? Can I go through it? Can I rummage through it? Or mittens?
So one of the things I do before the podcast is I will search just stand-up comedy news just to see what's going on around in the world. And a thing I saw this morning, did you see this at all? Mark Norman was doing a show last night in New York. You're familiar with Mark Norman, the
Yeah.
comedian? Yeah. He's doing a show in New York, and there's some video of this. All of a sudden, like, there's a few people on stage, and basically, I think what happened was someone was being chased. Mark tries to make a couple jokes about it, and
'Cause
then...
he's not sure what's happening.
What's
At
that?
He's not sure what's happening at first, right?
He has no idea what is
Yeah.
actually happening. He's very confused, making some jokes about it, and then
Has he marked his show a safe place for people fleeing any kind of maybe we should do that. Like, this is a baby drop-off area tonight at Acme. If you have a child you don't think you can take care of, drop it off with the doorman. They'll bring it back. Comics will raise it.
no questions asked.
No questions asked. You just leave it. There was Sticks Restaurant. We'll get it a salmon the meal. I didn't see that story, but what I broke in on you.
No, well, I
continue.
mean that was the gist of it. Is that and then somebody from the club comes up and basically grabs Mark and is like, "Get off the stage immediately." Then a few moments later, they come out and they're like, so we had a little interruption. Everything's fine, but everyone leave immediately."
What?
Yes.
I can't. That's a very bizarre.
Very
thing
bizarre.
to happen in the middle of a show.
Yes, apparently this morning, I mean, this just happened last night. Apparently this morning, people, Norman's back just posting regular stuff on social media, and people are like, yeah, but what the fuck happened last night?
Did he still sell stuff after the show? I want to know that he just kind of okay, whatever that was. I didn't like the show anyways. It was a bachelorette party, and they were so unruly. I was like, good. I'm glad this happened.
Hey, the show's over, but we still got a merch line. It's a half a block
show's
down
over.
now.
You guys still got to do your tabs. Don't try to get out.
Don't think that actually did cross my mind. It was like, there's no way they dropped the tabs yet, and they just had
No,
everybody
early
leave.
in the show. What a nightmare.
Yeah.
Was everybody okay? That person was chased?
It's
They were being...
It seemed like there was some sort of, criminal activity going on. Weird.
What a weird...
Have you ever experienced anything close to that?
No.
Some sort
I
of
don't
odd
know.
interruption?
No, I don't think so, man. Like, outside of a weird heckle or some kind of... I don't know that anybody's even like... No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's bizarre. I haven't had anything crazy weird happen at a show.
That's
no
good.
earthquakes or anything that, any kind of a natural disaster.
It reminds me of the one that came up on the podcast years ago when I'm pretty sure it was Adam Newman, and he put on someone's jacket from the audience, put his hand in the pocket, and there was a bag of cocaine in there.
What? Put somebody's jacket on and found cocaine is like, that person had to be like, oh no, he's putting his hand in my cocaine pocket.
The cocaine pocket.
Nope, nothing. After 9/11, nobody could fly, so I had to do a show like 2 days after that because they were still going to do a comedy show. So I mean, like, it wasn't during a comedy show, but it was, it was a comedy show right after.
Were you in New York?
No, I was living in Austin,
Oh.
Texas, but nobody could fly in to do the shows that they had booked. So they just used local people that were like living in the area
Sure,
to go
sure.
up.
And you're like, okay, I'll be funny now. Everybody ready?
Yeah, it was like so bizarre. I was like, what
Yeah.
is, hey, everybody. And people were like, they were just wanting to be out. And I mean, they came to see comedy because they were like, make us laugh, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's going to be, we're all thinking about like, what just happened?
Please distract me.
Very much
Please
so.
distract me. I assume you're still a huge San Antonio Spurs fan.
Yeah. San Antonio with Wemby has been great.
That never changes. You're going to be a fan for life.
I'm going to be a fan for life. And my son Oliver is like 100% on the San Antonio Spurs train. So
How old is he?
he is now 17.
17,
Yeah,
okay.
he's a junior in high school, man.
Yeah.
So he's probably taken the rudder, and he's kind of like steering us towards. He lets me know, it's like my son has become a Bleacher Report with the updates I get from him on the phone. It's like so many updates about any sport that I like, any sport he likes, teams that we like. It's been pretty amazing. But he's so like in love with Wemby, and so am I. The guy is so much fun to watch.
Yeah. For people who don't know, Wemby is Victor Wembanyama.
Wembanyama, yeah.
He is a 9'5" no.
He's I think 6. No, 6. What am I saying? 7'8".
I
Maybe
think so.
7. Maybe 7'6" officially, but I think he might be hiding a couple inches for whatever reason.
Yeah, these guys do that. I mean, Kevin Garnett did that for years. I'm 6'11".
Exactly.
You're 7 feet, dude.
Yeah, I think KD does it too. Like, because they never wanted to play center growing up,
Right.
because they wanted to bring the ball up because they can, but nobody would ever do that.
Yeah.
But no, it's been fun. He's this French kid. He was like, I think 19 when he was drafted. He just turned 20.
Crazy.
And
Can't legally drink and is
yeah, right.
an
He
NBA
can't-
star.
Can't drink in France. He's probably. I don't know that he does drink any. I don't know what his thing is.
Well,
he's funny.
So I want to bring something up about him that might be his thing. Did you see the story that they're talking about with him, that he needs to be left alone after 9:30 each night?
Oh no, I didn't. I don't know that. That's great. 9:30.
San Antonio Spurs staff are told to never contact Victor Wembanyama after 9:30 so he can do what in peace before he goes to bed?
Oh, is this a? Do you know what the answer
I
is?
do know the answer. Let's see if you don't.
Oh, this is
You
good.
got a
I like
guess?
this. So
What does
can
he
do
need an hour to do before he goes to
an
bed?
hour before he goes to bed? Is it a game? Is he a gamer? Is he video game?
That's
with
a
his,
great guess,
With
no.
his buddies back in France, like
With the time difference, they're like
somehow
getting ready for
this
work.
is the perfect time.
Not video games. Although that would be cool.
Man,
Playing
that's
as
a good
himself
one.
on NBA 2K.
Yeah, I would say so. It's not gaming. He needs an hour to kind of like yoga stretch or something. He's so
It's almost less. It's almost more boring than that.
more boring.
Read.
Read. Is it read?
Read.
It's pretty good. He wants to read for an hour.
Yeah. And when I heard this, I'm thinking, is this like it may be true or it may be the most genius thing. What could I tell these people to leave me alone?
I need to read.
I need to read.
But I mean, like, it seems like that might be something that he does.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you're right. If it's a lie, it's such a boring lie that it's completely believable. Like,
And
who's even
you
gonna
have to
check
respect
that?
it.
You got to respect it. He's reading. The guy's bettering himself.
He's reading. I mean, we need to let him do that.
We got to let him read. We got to let Victor Wembanyama read for an hour every
Isn't
night.
that great?
Don't bug him. He'd be at home anyways, all right? Who's bothering him? I guess like assistant coaches or something calling. Who's calling him?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Are you getting to bed?
Or I mean, I guess they probably do have like
Are you getting enough sleep?
tabs on those guys.
So then I got one more NBA thing for you. Did you see this one? Luka getting harassed last night. Luka
I did by the
Doncic.
report. Oh yeah, report. Yeah, so first started in the arena.
Yes.
And then he let it go until the second half. I mean, I think Luka was also firing back a little bit, but then asked to have him removed.
Sounds like it. Yeah, fan was talking some crap as far as
Yeah.
Luka says.
And then he got into it with the reporters afterwards.
Yeah.
They were asking him about the reporter that was talking to him, Luke, I guess does not like him. I guess he's written some things.
That's one of my favorite things is when an athlete will single out a reporter. Yeah, you're the one who's always an a-hole to me.
He goes, yeah, you're always basically looking at that bad angle for me anyways. Like, I'm sure you're going to report it. And then that guy was like, what do you mean? I've only 99% of what I've written has been positive.
Yeah.
But Luca remembers the one that maybe wasn't. And
the headline is the last thing that supposedly set Luka over is the guy said, you're tired, get your ass on a treadmill.
because he does have like a little bit of a doughy body.
Yeah.
But it's almost like he looks like a guy that could like just rule like a fraternity league or some kind of like at a college. Like he just would destroy everybody because he was amazing when he played in high school. But it's better than that because he's doing it in the NBA.
Yeah.
And he's unstoppable. When he gets hot, it's like you cannot stop his shots.
Yeah.
That little one leg kind of fadeaway that's just like you can't even block it because he's not like it's not a natural shot.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Do you get to games then, living in LA and your team is in
Yeah. Well, we're going to go in
Texas?
February to Spurs are coming to play LA.
Okay.
So it's all back and back. So we hope Wemby plays the LA side of that back and back because they don't really play him back to backs
Gotcha.
because they're trying to just see what they got,
Yeah,
get him
yeah,
through
yeah.
a season and then and then assess it later.
Yeah.
So we hope they've done it where they've rested him on the first half of one, and so we're hoping, we're praying because we went to see him when he played against the Clippers, but it was like his first kind of like couple games, and it was like a tough game for him. He's just getting used to the speed of the league.
Sure.
You're playing against some pretty great. I mean, you got Paul George on that team, Kawhi Leonard. It was an insane lineup to kind of like get dropped into.
Yeah. Feet to the fire, as they say, right?
Right, absolutely.
So I have to bring up something. Your set, first of all, last night was so funny.
Thanks.
I really, really enjoyed it. There's a couple things
Oh yeah, let's get
that
into
I
it.
can. First of all, I didn't know what a Bernedoodle.
Bernedoodle, yeah.
I've never had a dog.
You never had a dog?
I've never had a dog.
Hey, I got you
and
a
I've
dog. Just bring in Justin's dog, everybody.
The puppies here. So I had to Google Bernedoodle. That is one of the cutest things I've ever seen.
They're fun dogs, man. They're like Duncan is like my wife sent a video today. She's walking it, and when it sees squirrels, it gets up on its hind legs, but it'll just walk like a bear. I don't know why it does it, but he just kind of I think he's trying to think the squirrel will be like, oh, it's just a human. It's not going to bother me because I'm a squirrel. And then he's like, tricked you, and then jumps on all fours. But yeah, no, they're great dogs. Super smart.
Cutest dog ever. Yeah,
So fun.
Very, very
he
cute.
weighs 40 pounds, but he looks like he's 90 because there's so much fur.
Oh.
They got that because they got the Bernese Mountain Dog fur,
Oh, sure.
and it's just so long and shaggy.
Well, that'd probably work well here in our cold weather.
Super smart. Yeah, it would.
So one of the things you brought up last night as part of your set is you're talking mental. You make some jokes about things that are examples of mental illness, including liking puzzles.
Puzzles.
Right?
Yeah, I do.
Now, the first thing I heard, because you also mentioned that when you were on the plane, people were talking about the Saint Paul Winter Carnival happening.
Right, which they were sad because it's too warm to do the ice sculptures and things maybe.
Eddie, the ice sculptures are a lot of fun to see.
Well, that would be, I would. That's what I would be like. Well, if that's not happening, what else are they going to do?
They're a lot
Just
of fun.
show puddles. This was supposed to be Paul Bunyan's axe, but yeah, as you can see, it's 40 degrees. Couldn't keep it together.
That's hilarious. So not only does the Winter Carnival have there's a parade and there's the ice sculptures and this and that and the other, there is also a puzzle competition.
Oh, when
Eddie.
is it? If I can go, I should go to that.
It's
and
Saturday.
Is it really? I could go to it and just heckle. I wonder if they've ever been heckled doing a puzzle. What are you guys doing? What's next? Like putting a ship in a bottle? What other old timey things are you gonna make butter in a bucket? Like I don't understand what you're doing.
Fastest churner.
Fastest churner goes to Peggy from just outside of Saint Paul.
That's right.
She can move a stick.
There's a knitting competition. No, there's not. But
You say that, and I'm like, that's okay. I get it. Like that's
It's
That's
right
going to be a
afterwards.
whole week-long competition. They come back every night and continue.
I thought it was interesting. So, by the way, if you wanted to compete, it is sold out. You have to pay like $60 to compete in this
To
thing,
compete
by
in the
way.
puzzle thing.
In the puzzle
Is
competition.
it speed?
Yeah,
I guess it's speed. Is it teams?
There's teams. It's based on speed. There's expert level,
there cheating?
1,000 piece puzzles.
Any
Where did I
scandals?
write down? I wrote down some of the. Where did I put that? Some of the rules. But
I love that there's rules.
yeah, I got to look that up here.
What could a puzzle rule be? Like
I agree. What could a puzzle? Here we go. At the Saint Paul Winter Carnival Puzzle Contest, there's for experts, which is 1,000 pieces, 500. And that's not as competitive.
1,000 pieces.
You know how much time they leave to do that? 3 hours.
3 hours.
Yeah.
To do a puzzle like 1,000 pieces. Okay. Like is it a team thing though? I wasn't. Is it
Team. Yep. Team. There's
many
also
peop-
family team as well. But okay, here we go. Here's the rules, Eddie.
we go.
No early starts.
Okay.
If you open your bag and begin your puzzle before the start of the contest, you will be disqualified.
What is the starting sound? Like pistol? Like is it like a tea kettle that just? All right, everybody, you can start making your puzzle.
It's probably, I heard you reference Fargo. It's probably somebody with that voice going, okay, go.
That show's so fun to watch. We're super late to it, but man, it's good.
We finished the most recent season a week ago. It's fantastic.
John Hamm's got nipple rings.
Yes.
That's what I hear. I don't read too much into it because I don't want to. But I heard about the nipple ring.
Spoiler alert,
Oh yeah, sorry, sorry everybody. Or maybe that entices you to go see it.
Hey,
I don't know.
Time to sign up for Hulu. If you open your bag,
Sign up for Hulu.
if you open your bag and begin your puzzle before the start, you will be disqualified. Hands only. Also,
Hands
only.
Okay. What about if you don't have hands?
You
There's
need-
people that don't have hands and do everything with their feet.
Sit out.
So they sit out. Sit on your hands, everybody.
Sit on your feet, hands. The use of any puzzle tools, cutting devices, flashlights, or phones is strictly prohibited.
Flashlights.
Flashlights.
Is there something you can through the puzzle and
I
see?
have no idea.
The cutting thing I kind of get. That's
Sure.
kind of like you could have like a little sandpaper, like a baseball pitcher, and kind of like make your own grooves.
That
Because
wasn't me.
honestly, any two pieces will fit together if you mash them down hard enough.
I've watched my daughter do that. Yeah, my little
Why don't
one.
we go compete in this thing and just make the worst puzzle ever? Like, no, that's it. They're all stuck together. That's the rule. Does it have to be? Is that in there?
We'll show up with a puzzle from Goodwill that's missing a couple pieces.
Oh, it would be infuriating. You can have custom puzzles made,
Oh, yeah.
which is a fun thing to do. Maybe I'll get into that. Make like a horrific puzzle, and then just keep working on it. Start on the edges.
It's just
make
more
your
and more
way
graphic
in.
as you keep-
Yeah, and just like this doesn't look like a forest. Oh, you'll see. It is thick. What you're gonna?
There's a cave. There's certainly a cave. Now, this is a rule I don't understand either. Use of table risers is not permitted and is grounds for disqualification.
See, I think that's what it is. Like because my wife is 5'4", she's closer to the action. Maybe a table riser brings it up where it's easier for the taller people who might be at a disadvantage to like have to bend over so much. And it's bad on the back puzzling. Nobody knows that.
Puzzling.
Puzzle people.
It's puzzling.
It is puzzling that there's a rule. But is there a reigning winner? Are they there to like pass it on? Is there a return champion?
So I remember hearing a bit about this when it came around last year, and there are professionals that actually show up, like ringers,
Professional puzzle people.
yeah, that are well known. They have TikToks and shit like that.
Well known amongst those people. That's great. I mean, okay. I mean, I guess it's a version of chess.
Sure. I mean, everybody's got their chance to be, famous, I guess.
Okay.
Is,
well, that's great that that's popping off. I mean, I'm not against, I might go watch that just for like I have to maybe record a little bit of that. It's like if I see LARPers I'm going to take some video.
Absolutely.
We were in Boise one time doing some shows and there were LARPers and me and my friends started recording and they came over like, how are you doing? Do you want to join? Like they were definitely like, please do not make fun of us or mock us. This is what we like to do. This is us getting out and just, and being in nature. And we weren't, but it was just nobody's going to believe us that there was like these fake battles going on.
This podcast taught me what LARPing is
Oh,
because Jackie Cation was a guest on here.
Oh, yeah.
and it was
She
a
loves
topic on her podcast.
Yeah.
and I went, you have to tell me what this is. I really don't
Oh, that's
know.
great.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good thing, and she's the perfect person to learn that from.
Absolutely.
She loves that.
Yes.
Like that's what she's so good at, like, knowing that world.
Yes.
Because I like to play Dungeons and Dragons a little bit.
There you go.
During COVID, my kids couldn't, like, be with other kids. Everybody's like isolated. So I was like, I had a friend at work who was like a dungeon master at Tosh Point Out, and I was like, hey, would you do some like online campaigns for me if I get my kids and their friends and their families to kind of like get in on it?
No
So
kidding.
they can still kind of like connect over Zoom, like campaigns or whatever. They were learning how to play the game, and this person that was doing the campaigns was really good. Made it super fun for him. So it was fun to play that, but that's definitely like just the top of the like the nerd world.
Yes.
You go into it, like I think Jackie's like the Nerd Forest or whatever.
Dork Forest. Yeah.
Dork Forest, yeah, is so, and she's so funny about that stuff. It's great.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's a good person to learn that from. Fantastic.
Couldn't have found a better one. Absolutely could not have found a better one. So how much stand up are you like for the rest, like in the near future? How much stand up you got planned?
Like every month or so. I mean, I'll do like when Daniel goes out, I'll tour with him a little bit and do stand up, which is a great way to do it because it's like smaller sets I'm doing, and traveling, all that, everything's fun. And then
Awesome.
I'll go out like a couple weeks ago. I was in St. Louis. I'll do Cincinnati. I just kind of pick the clubs that I want to go to and fill it in.
Nice.
Austin, Texas in April, a couple places. Nothing in March really.
Okay.
Yeah, but maybe like a week a month at a club.
And you're still doing a podcast with your wife?
Yeah, we haven't done one since the Eagles lost the Super Bowl. I'm a big Eagles fan. So they lost the Super Bowl, and then we just didn't get around to it. And then I'm like, well, is it kind of funny if we do it the week of the Super Bowl, our first one back? And I've just now gotten myself together where I can do it again. So we're just kind of waiting for like a couple more weeks, and we'll do it again. But it is fun to do with her.
I see.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, I like to do things with Megan because she's a comic too. Those kind of things because she's so funny to me and super. So it's fun to kind of do a project or creative kind of endeavor with somebody who you really think is really funny and also want to do all your things with, anyways. So.
And it has to at least slightly, while the mic is on, it changes probably how you talk to each other.
I think the dynamic is a little different because you're not just like hanging out in the house together, even though it's in the garage and there's microphones, but you do kind of like try to be a little bit more topical. It's things that we might not talk about, but you treat each other like co-hosts.
Sure.
And less like spouses, but I think we've found a way to kind of like get both in there.
Sure.
Time together.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I like doing it because we would get our kids in on it. We do like the Gossling family spelling bee, which I've always lost. I'm the worst speller in the world.
Okay.
It's so bad. Like I'm the first one out always. It's the first word always, and then I'm just furious for the rest of it. And I'm just like, you guys keep picking these horrible words for me. Mammal, really? 3 M's, 2 A, and an L? I don't think so. It's just to see. And also, it's all made up. Somebody made up that word like in the 1700s or whatever, mammal. And that's how we're just gonna still spell it that way. Okay,
I've never looked at it like that. Yeah, you're right.
It's like ridiculous.
Screw you. You had it wrong the first time.
We do other things different, but we're gonna like adhere to how they spelt a word that was made up anyways. I don't think so. It seems silly to me. But that's just because I'm salty about not knowing how to spell. Bagel's another one. I misspelled that, but it's like eagle and bagel end the same, but they're spelled different at the end. It's like I have many examples. If I put the effort in to actually learning how to spell these words, as I do for my arguments as to why they should be spelled the other way, I'd be so good at all these Scrabbles and whatever.
Wordle? Do you play Wordle?
I do play Wordle. Yeah, Wordle's fun. I play Wordle. I play a lot of Retro Bowl now, which is like a video game on your phone that's like, it's kind of like Techno Bowl.
Oh.
But it's just fun. There's a college version and a pro version, and I spend way too much time playing that. When I win a championship, I tell the kids we're going to do a parade in the house, and they're like, this can't be our life.
I love this.
Addicted to your phone, Dad. You have too much screen time. Your screen time's been up. Like I'm having a good run. I got a good squad.
I mean, can't let the team down. They need you.
They need me. I'm a great coach.
They need your leadership. They're going to do it out by themselves.
Retro Bowl. Check it out.
Retro Bowl. Okay. Sounds like something I'd like.
Playing with your phone all the time.
Yeah, yeah. How about social media? How much time are you spending doing that?
I mean, I have, Instagram and Twitter. Twitter I use for more like kind of doing news, keeping updated. It's definitely been like junked up a little bit since the new ownership has taken over.
Yeah.
But
my tiny new complaint about Twitter is if you search something online and then it links to that, it will only show. You can't continue clicking around. Like you have to go back to the app to continue going through.
So if you click on it, it'll say,
only show you that one, post or whatever.
and then it wants you to open the app.
And then it wants you to open the app.
Yeah, that's probably by design, right? It seems like it's somehow he gets like some kind of money, or I don't know. I don't know how that works. But for the most part, that's it. Instagram. I guess I do TikTok a little bit. I have a TikTok that I didn't really do a lot of TikTok. And then somebody's like, oh, you should, a club in Cincinnati put a bid up, and it got like, they're like, hey, you have like 250,000 views this week. And I'm like, oh, cool. So I went over there. And then I started listening to some of my bits. Like there's a duet where people can like lip sync your material, but they do it in there.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, what is this? And somebody's getting a haircut in like Japan.
And doing your
And
bit?
they're doing my bit about haircuts. And they're like, and I'm like, what is happening?
Awesome.
So they did kind of like take me by surprise.
Oh,
And then
that's
I was
so
like,
cool.
Then it's kind of a super creative medium. I think anytime you can find a new way to like reinvent comedy, not reinvent it, but another way to present it so people can consume it a different way.
Sure.
It's kind of neat and interesting. Kind of make, tweaks my interests.
Would you are you putting out old stuff?
I just recently have started to like cut up little reels and stuff like that. Malcolm here put together a couple bits from like a set that I did at the Comedy and Magic in Hermosa.
Oh, perfect.
And they were like, people have been reaching out like, hey man, how's it going? I'm glad to see you're doing comedy. Like, people haven't seen me in a while. I get emails and text messages and all these things. So it's been, I think I'll do more of that because it seems pretty good.
Yeah.
Over the holidays, every holiday I do like Christmas songs, like original.
I'm glad you brought this up.
Christmas songs. And this year I animated one of them, Secret Santa. So that was the one that I dropped this year, which was a lot because it's like a 2-minute song, and animating something for 2 minutes is like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I've never like tried to like lyrically, visually like tell a story at the same time. So I'm like, oh, what would that even be?
Why Christmas songs?
I just find like Christmas songs to be endearing, but also insane. Like that they even exist, like Jingle Bells and all these things. They just every year we do them. Like, well, maybe we should do some new ones. There's no.
I think that every year.
I need one song to pop so I can like Mariah Carey my way. Like I want people to go through Kohl's, right, and they hear Christmas bedwetter. Christmas sweater, bedwetter, whatever. Cinnamon. If one of them hits, and I'm like, oh, here we go. Now I'm just sitting back and enjoying the ride.
There's space for that. Like,
right. That's what I hope.
There's the one
found
local radio station here that switches to Christmas music the day after Thanksgiving.
And some stations
24 hours a day.
Christmas got run over by a reindeer was a thing when I was growing up. They would just play that song for 24 straight hours. I need to I want that space. I want to take it over. And so
it over.
Tweaking my system. This is my third year to put them out. It's available on iTunes.
I mean, you have kind of a Santa Claus beard.
I got the beard. Yeah, I mean, I've grown into it. Like, it's money. I'm leaving money on the table if I don't take advantage of this. I got to do it. Like, come on, let's go. But
have you considered working in a red sweater a little more often?
I mean, maybe I should just embrace it at this point. I either look like Santa or like an insurrectionist. Like it's either way. But I'm not gonna shave. I'm not letting the insurrectionists take this look.
No, they don't. They don't own it.
They don't get this. Okay. I'm gonna I'll show up. I'll listen. I'll be the inside guy. I get the information. I'm like, here's what's happening, everybody. I was at the meeting.
This isn't a disguise. It's me, but I'm not one of them.
I fooled you guys. I'm a mole.
Oh, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Let's see. Is there anything else we should be mentioning here? We've done a little bit about a half hour here. People have to come see the shows. I'm telling you, I had so much fun seeing it last night.
What else? It's so you can't. There's no ice sculptures.
There's no ice sculptures this weekend, folks. You could just go to that park downtown and look at puddles, as we say, or you could come and see comedy.
If you want to celebrate a big puzzle victory from the festival, you come out here. I'll get you half off.
There you go.
There's a puzzle room downstairs. Maybe that brings you in. You do the puzzle room, Then you come up for the show, and I will puzzle you from the stage with some of the bits.
I do want to bring up one more thing. I want to congratulate the new MCs that were recently hired at Acme.
Oh, yeah.
Including the one that worked last night with you, Andy Duong. Last week, I saw Emma Dollenberg do her first set last
that's
Wednesday.
Great.
I thought that was so cool to be here for that.
Yeah, it was so nice to see Andy go up on stage, and they were like, "No, this is his first paid week."
Love it,
and he did great. And it's always fun to be around somebody who's kind of like starting their introduction, their journey into like a professional part of it.
So there's two more names that were recently hired. I want to mention Jeff Foser and Grant Winkles. Looking forward to seeing them perform on the stage here at Acme. But what I want to lead to is where did that happen for you? Where were you? Where did you get that step?
San Antonio, Texas.
It was San Antonio.
Yeah, I started down there in San Antonio. Ended up getting like a week at the club. It was a great club. They opened it up, and they would bring through like really, really good headliners when they opened. And so I got to see a lot of great comics starting out because I was just hanging out at the club all the time. And then they bought a club in Austin, so I moved up there and house MC'd for like a year.
Which one was that?
Cap City Comedy Club, which I think is just bought by Helium.
That sounds right.
Yeah, and but that was a great club too because it was every 3 weeks I was the MC. So they had like a little rotation of like different people doing it.
It's basically what they have here, yeah.
It was great. I mean, like you learn so much by doing things, right? And by watching like really good people do what you like to do.
Yeah.
And so the growth is just exponential when that happens, and it's nice to see people starting. And Acme's one of those places. The club's so good, and the talent here in Minneapolis is so good. We were talking about people selling things after shows and how creative they are here. I would expect nothing less than like the people, like the comics from here are just like, of course they're like taking like selling something after the show to the next level.
Yes,
it's amazing.
Yeah, we mentioned Trevor Anderson's wooden spatulas, which are amazing. Elise Cole's bath bombs that are shaped as toasters.
Toasters, yeah, like a toaster in the bathtub. And I'm like, I saw it last night. I'm like, that's crazy great. The spatula, you said you have one of the spatulas?
Yeah, they're great.
Testimony?
Oh, yes. Yep. I fully endorse Trevor Anderson's artisanal workmanship.
That's great.
Do you have merch with you? Any merch?
Nope, don't have anything.
Nothing.
I'm a venture capitalist, so I take pitches after the show, and I will invest in your company if it's just this comedy is just for me a way to get here, and then
just to meet people,
hear your ideas, and get 50% equity in perpetuity.
Oh wow!
I'm investing my time. All right, I have the connections.
Yeah.
I have a custom ink account, so we're already set to go. Legal Zoom documents, Bambi. I have it all. I have all the things that we need to start something.
Just need your ideas. Right?
I just need your ideas. I need you to give them to me. And then
a signature.
We'll just sign this, and we'll go to GoDaddy right now and see if the web domain is available.
Perfect. This has been great. Please, I don't know if you have a hand in it, but if you can come back in sooner than 11 years, and we could do this again.
Yeah. We'll try to make it more of a regular thing. Maybe next time Megan will be here, and she'll do the stand-up, and I'll hang back.
Okay.
And we'll just keep rotating it like that.
Sure. Sounds good.
This is one of her favorite clubs when she was starting out too, because Lewis was like one of the first people to headline her. So it would be cool for her to get back here too.
Oh, that would be awesome.
But our kids are older, so we can kind of go do these things now a little bit. They don't need. It's still a bummer to be away from them, but they can do things kind of on their own. You don't need to be there 100% of the time.
And they like that too.
I think so too. And you got to let them do that, right? You got to let them kind of become their own people.
Yeah.
Make their own choices.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, they're going to be a nightmare when they get to do it for the first time at an older age, I guess.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Well, Justin, it's nice being on again, buddy.
Thank you. Like I said, people come see you this weekend at Acme and follow you on the social media, as we just mentioned.
Follow me on social media.
Thanks, man.
All right, buddy. Thanks.